Hey, welcome back to another Creative Team video. I'm upstairs in our Creative Team booth, and today we're going to be looking at cameras. This is a very fun job to be a part of. Usually people up here serve about once a month running cameras. As you can see here, we have a massive monitor that shows all of our cameras and everything like that you're going to be running. Now, here's why this ministry is important. Ever since COVID, people have really tuned in to worshiping with our church online. Every Sunday we have in between 20, 30, 40 people who are watching online with us, when at first thought that doesn't really sound like a lot of people. But there are statistics out there that show that most people, when they're watching a service online, they don't watch alone. There's them and maybe their spouse or their kids or things like that that are with them. So that number drastically can go up from what it looks like people who are viewing online. Right now we stream to Facebook, we stream to YouTube, and we stream to our website. And so this is an incredibly important job for a volunteer, because you are connecting our services. You are connecting the gospel to people all across the world. We look at analytics and we have people everywhere who are tuning into our service, and it's really cool to see. And a lot of it has to do with the people who are right up here serving in this position as one of our camera operators. And so enough said about how important it is. I want to show you some about our camera software. So as you can see, we have our big monitor here. This shows us every shot that we have in the sanctuary that we can use. This module here, this lumens, this controls all of the cameras that are downstairs. So as you can see here, we have our joystick that will control the cameras moving up, down, moving to the sides, zooming in, zooming out, focusing, getting the right coloring, everything like that. It's all super important, and that is what we do here with our lumens camera operator. Then we have our ATEM switcher that you can see here. This is just the beef. This is just the robust dual engine piece of equipment that allows us to be able to put things out to the projector, out to the stream, out to the commons. This guy is awesome. We're grateful for that. And then over here on our screen, you're going to see our ATEM, our ATEM software, and this is how we tell what camera is going to be sent out to the stream and what camera we're previewing to make into a shot. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk through with you how you queue up a camera, and I'm going to walk through kind of how you adjust coloring and things like that, and then how you push out to the stream or you push out to the projectors. That's all we're going to learn today, and so we'll jump right into it. Okay, so over here on our ATEM, our ATEM computer, you'll see, and it says program right here and preview. So another way to look at program is this is the live shot. Whatever is selected on the program side is what will be displayed on the TVs in the comments, and it will be what is displayed on our live stream to everybody who's watching on Facebook and YouTube. So this one is super important. You want to make sure that whatever you have in the preview, you have dialed up and you are ready to go. You think it's a great shot and it's really good quality for the people who are watching. The preview screen is what you will bring up to be able to queue up a good camera shot. And so if you look here on the main monitor, so this top shot, I'm sure you can't read it, but right here it says live shot, and down here it says on deck. So if you are using your program screen over here and you have, like right now, Pro, that's Pro Presenter, you have that clicked. That means this is the live shot. That is what is going out to Facebook. This is what is going out to the commons. This is what's going on to everybody watching at home or in their cars. This is the shot that really matters, okay? Now, our preview over here on ATEM is our on deck screen. This is the one that we're gonna use to just queue up the best shot that we possibly can. And so we choose from all of our different selections here, all of our different camera inputs and things like that. We select that in to be on deck. We queue up our shot, and then once we feel good about it, we send it to the live shot. So let me show you how we're gonna do that. So right now on your A10 computer over here, we're gonna go ahead and select camera 1. So you'll watch right here. I'm gonna click camera 1 on this screen, and all of a sudden we have a new shot pop up right here on our on deck. So no one can see this right now. This is just for me to be able to queue up and get a good shot. So let's say that with camera 1, I will need to move it around. I need to zoom in, I need to zoom out, I need to pan it just a little bit to be able to see someone on stage. Well, how would I do that? Well, here we go. On your lumens, we have selected camera 1, so we're gonna click 1 cam. Now that tells the lumens that now whatever I do, I'm going to control camera 1. So again, that's 1 cam. If it was the second camera, I would click 2 cam. For the third camera, 3 cam. And I would give it a second. As soon as it says okay, that means that it is ready for me to control it. So now let's take our attention back up here to our main screen. Now that I'm ready to control it, this joystick right here, if you see, I'm moving it to the right, moving it to the left, and you see that it is moving. So let's say right here, this acoustic guitar, we want to center that up. We're going to use our guides right here on this screen. Now that guitar is basically there in the center, but I want to zoom in. So I'm going to turn this joystick, I'm going to turn it clockwise, and you see how it zooms in on the screen. And so you can see that it's definitely zoomed in here, but it's not quite focused. So what would we do? Well, we come over right here, and right now it's on autofocus, so it's really trying hard to focus, and eventually it will. But if I want it to just focus right then, I'm gonna click this one push, it says AF, autofocus, one push autofocus, and it'll bring up a nice clear picture on our screen. Now, let's say that right now, it's kind of a little purpley, and we need to change that coloring to make it look a little more realistic. So here's what we would do. We would come right over here, again, making sure we're on 1 cam, and we would come to our auto exposure button. So you'll see here in red is highlighted iris, and if I click this exposure button again, it flips over to shutter. If you click it again, then auto pops up, and you see the adjustments that it did immediately there by clicking auto. What we have found is that if you click auto, if you're really far out, if you're not like zoomed in on the stage, if you're really far out, auto it just pixelate the whole picture. Everything goes like super bright and white, and it looks fake, and it doesn't look good. And so what we have to do is either make sure we're zoomed in. Okay, we're gonna crank this thing clockwise, and we're gonna zoom in. And if we're zoomed in pretty good, then we can use auto exposure, and it will, make everything look really nice. But let's say we don't want to be zoomed in that far. So right now on auto, this image is it's just really bright. So I would come over here and I would click it again to make my iris button here red, illuminate red. And so just ever so slightly, I'm going to either turn it to the left, which would make it darker, or turn it to the right, and I would bring up that iris. And so you would sit here and you would go back and forth trying to find the right coloring. And a lot of this has to do with just trial and error. So you can see here now my image has become clear, and it has taken a little bit of that purple coloring and kind of brought it down just a little bit. So now I'm going to click this button again and go to my shutter. So shutter allows light to either come through or not to come through. So I'm going to, like right now, let's say that's a little bright. So I'm going to go to the left now that I'm on shutter, and you see on the screen it kind of got a little darker. Now it's a little brighter if I go to the right. And so you will just adjust accordingly based on the shot that you have. We're just trying to make people just look normal, like just real people. They don't have to look like, Barbie dolls. They don't have to look like people that you see on TV, but we want them just to look like normal people. And so we want to adjust the iris and the shutter to allow that to happen. And again, if it's not really focusing and things are a little blurry, then we'll come right over here and we will adjust with our one push autofocus, or we'll just leave on our autofocus button. So we're gonna say that we're really happy with this image that we have here. And so we're ready for this to go out to the stream. We want people to be able to see this. So we're gonna come back over here to our ATEM software. And in our ATEM software, right now our preview is camera 1, but we're ready for that to come up here and be our program, what is shown out to the stream and out in the commons. So what we would do is we would come over here to where it says transition styles, and you come down here to where it says auto. And all you will do is you will click auto, and you see this bar come up here. That's it transitioning to that camera being pushed out live. So now you notice our live shot is the one that we just worked on. The one that was on deck is now live, and now we're ready to queue up another shot to be in our on deck so that we can send it out to the stream. So let's do that again. So we're gonna go to camera 3. So we're gonna go back over to our A10 switcher, and we're gonna click camera 3. You'll see it pop up here. Now on my lumens, I'm going to click 3 cam. I'm going to give it a second. It says okay now. So we're ready to go. So I will queue up a shot of, let's say, the keyboard. Okay, so I'm going to come over here with my joystick. I'm going to go to the right. And here we go. I'm going to zoom in. So I'm going to go clockwise on this joystick. And I'm going to keep going in. And man, there is a shot of the keyboard player. And now we think that's a good shot. We're gonna adjust the lumens. We're gonna adjust the iris or the shutter to get good coloring. Or if we're zoomed in enough, we'll just click auto exposure. And what you can see there, that's super bright. So we don't really want that. So we'll come here with the iris, but it's a little dark, so we do need to brighten it up. So we're gonna turn up the iris just a little bit, and then we'll click shutter, and just one tiny little turn, and you'll see how it brightened up. I don't know if you can really see it there on the camera, but it brightened it up quite a bit here. And so you'll be able to adjust all of the settings of that camera to get a really good shot in for that. Now again, we like this shot, we're ready for it to go live. What are we gonna do? Well, we're gonna come over here, and we have the third camera, camera 3, in our preview window, which is on deck. We're gonna come over here again to transition styles, and we're gonna click this auto button. And watch here on the screen. We're gonna click auto, and there it goes. It goes up, and that now is being pushed out to the live stream. And so that's all you're gonna be doing as you're running cameras. You're going to find one of these shots that you like. We wanna use our drum camera. So I want my next shot to be a drum camera. So I'm gonna, instead of going from the piano shot back to camera 1, I'm gonna go from my piano shot to our drum camera. So I'm gonna come over here in our preview, and I'm gonna click drum. And now you'll see on our on deck is our drum. And so that will be panning back and forth as we're in a service. So when I feel like it's a good time, all I'm gonna do is come back over to my A10 software. I'm gonna come to transition style. I'm gonna click auto, and there it goes. There goes the drum camera for our stream. And so that is literally, that sums up all of the cameras. It looks intimidating when you see the big screen and you see, there's 2 different monitors and a unit that you have to maneuver, but it is so simple. But it makes such a huge difference when we're up here, we're paying attention to what's going on the stage. Sometimes I get a little carried away and I move a little bit while I'm talking or while I'm leading a song. Or Brant, man, there's times where he started the weed eater in the middle of service, and he's walking around trying to get people engaged in the service. And our job as a camera person is we're gonna follow whoever is up there on stage leading, just right here with this joystick, and we're just gonna follow them around wherever they go. And we're gonna try and make this an engaging time where people who are watching online, they feel like they're here with us, and like they can really pay attention and engage with what's going on in the service. And a lot of that has to do with what you're going to do up here as you're running our camera and our stream. And so there are a couple other things that we could talk about, but right now I think for just a basic overview, that's going to be it for this video. If you have any questions, you shoot me a text, send me an email, let me know, and I would love to help you out in any way that I can as you are looking into running cameras with us on our creative team. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all later.